All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. First and foremost, we give our honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, from name Yahweh Shai. Um, brother said, "I wish I could join right now, but I have other routines I gotta do." Well, thanks for your comment, brother. Appreciate you for stopping by. Um, yeah, man, it's good to be back in class. Lots been going on. Let's get back to regularly scheduled program. Put a 1 in the chat if you have had a good week. Put a 2 in the chat if you've had a challenging week. The Lord has had, you know, His arms wrapped around you in love. That's how we're gonna classify that, right? When you're having a 2 type of week, it just means that the Lord has had you, His arms wrapped around you in love. He's trying to reveal certain things to you. He's trying to give you a place of exercise for the purpose of, um, righteousness, strengthening faith, and discernment, or the development of discernment, right? I was trying to give some people some time to get in the chat. It's crazy too how like when I'm on mute or when I'm not on stage, you know, the numbers kind of teeter at a certain place, and then as soon as I start talking, it's almost like people just know. I'm not sure if people can kind of, I guess, sit on standby without showing themselves as a viewer, so then they can fully tune in when I start talking. But I noticed that it definitely goes up when I start to talk and I come off mute. But uh like I said, man, when we have these 2 type of weeks, when we have these 2 type of months, when we just in a 2 type of era and space within our lives, man, it's just a time where the Lord is showing you something. Because again, He could have taken you out. He could have, you know, um, bugged you out. He could have took your soul from you. Your soul is dealing with your consciousness. Your soul is dealing with your ability to discern right from wrong. And when you have a 2 type of week and you battling and struggling with this thing we call life, right? And you still are mindful, and you take advantage of the opportunity to still tune into class. You still taking the time out throughout your day to go and give, your time and attention to the Most High through prayer and supplication. Then these are the things that we can still be thankful for, because the Lord could have taken those things away from you. There's I know Ezra, Ezekiel, oftentimes they prayed to the Lord to say, man, why is the wicked being rewarded for the evil things that they do? Yet you're chosen, you're holy, you're righteous people are doing the things that you are commanding them, are in obedience and in line with the righteousness that you require, yet we're going through hell, right? And oftentimes you see, us Hebrew Israelites on the street corner talking about how we practice righteousness, how we keep the law. Want to make it clear, doesn't mean that we're exempt or that we are above breaking the law, but our lives are centered around being aware of what the Most High requires and what the Most High prohibits, and we align ourselves with that. And if for whatever reason we stray away from that, from the left or to the right, we have a measuring stick, we have guidelines that will realign us and recalibrate us back to the ways and instructions that the Most High has given us, right? To keep His commandments, the way in which we show love to Him as He shows love to us, by taking us through these, spiritual battles and even physical battles at times, which also has a spiritual effect on us in order to get us back in line, right? So, our obedience, as well as our faith, is the way that we exercise our love for the Most High, and the way that He showcases and demonstrates His love for us is He takes us through hell, but He doesn't take us out, right? And just with that, man, it's a sister. She's in the chat right now, Princess Erica. She has been a faithful and true supporter you know, for our congregation, man, and just for the community in general. You know, the sister has um ooh, excuse me, what did I just do? The sister has reached out, you know, to me a number of times. We've had, you know, back and forths about, you know, a variety of different things. And she's going through something, you know, her brother has been, you know, dealing with some physical, you know, health issues that's getting really bad. And again, she's definitely showcasing herself as a true soldier for the Most High and a servant. And, you know, if it's on you guys' heart, you know, please, you know, reach out and or, you know, donate to her Cash App. I have it posted right here on the screen. You know, whether you can Cash App or whether you can Zelle it. You know, the sister could really use our help. And again, she's been a faithful supporter of the community as well as our organization and this channel, man, literally since day one. So, you know, we can show our appreciation, come through for, you know, when necessary and when she needs it. And, you know, I know for sure, and I can vouch that she would do the same in return for anybody else. So, you know, when we go through those two type of weeks, you know, we all in this together. You understand? And like I said, I've been in communication with her, you know, trying to keep her spirits high and keep her spirit and her faith strong. And I'm gonna tell you this, man, she has been rocking strong. She has been, you know, moving completely in the spirit and through the faith, man. And again, you can only commend that. And this is what the community is for. So, like I said, if it's on your heart, you know, and you have the means to do so, reach out and support the sister. You know, donate if you can. If not, just keep her in your prayers, as well as anybody else that you see in the chat that have put, you know, a two, you know, that's having a two type of week, right? Benjamin Asher said he had a two type of week, right? We see Meshach, Abednego, and Shadrach had a two type of week. So anybody going through anything, you know, let's keep them in our prayers. And like I said, man, if it's on you guys' heart, you know, donate to the sister and show the support, because again, that's what we are here for. And it's crazy too, because through the communication that I've had with the sister, um, what it does is a lot of times where I am in counsel with people, people reach out, they'll say, you know, Cap, you know, I'm going through this, man, you know, keep me in your prayers. And it's like, all right, cool. That's typical, right? Effective as well. But when you get into a dialogue with someone where, you know, either someone's growing weak, either someone's in a state of confusion, or they're just in a place that maybe they're lacking and they just want some advice. They just want some encouraging, you know, advising words that can kind of give them some direction in the situation, because there's a sincere effort that a lot of us have to keep the commandments. And when we are met with adversity, that flesh, that flesh is right there in your face, right? The flesh is always there to say, hey, we can always go back to that BS we was on. You remember that BS that you was on. You know, that's the type of muscle memory that this flesh has, you know, and that we war against every single day. You know, it's that muscle memory. It's the constant reminder of, you know, either resorting to wickedness, just having doubt, or even cowering out altogether, right? But this is a reason why. What you got, Sarah? Yeah. So this is the reason why, man, we have these type of conversations, or this is why we have these type of lessons, and through conversations that we have, again, specifically, I'm talking about a conversation that I had with the sister Erica. What advice I then give to her, guess what? I'm now also confronting myself, because I'm going through things as well. And then I know brothers around me is going through things as well. So sometimes it's good, man, for you to reach out to somebody to seek counsel, because in them talking to someone else, it's easy for people to develop mentally this advice and this understanding to give to others, and then in turn we can use it for ourselves. You know, me sitting around alone at home, just kind of processing and reflecting on situations that I got going on in my life, I don't come up with the same level of advice for myself that I do for you guys. So, you know, not only is it therapeutic, you know, and reminds me of the purpose and reminds me of the gift and the responsibility that the Lord has given me through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and through the zeal that I have to serve him and go and teach and spread his word. You know, I also have to be able to, you know, remind myself of the things and the advice that I give to other people. So, you know, it's always a good thing. It's therapeutic that I get to help. It's therapeutic that I get to fulfill and constantly exercise this purpose, exercise this gift from the Most High. But it also reminds me, it puts things in perspective that, man, through someone reaching out and seeking my help, they don't even realize that they've helped me out, right? Bring that out in Sirach. Go ahead.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 2 from the top. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
It says, when you come to serve the Most High, prepare your heart for temptation. What is your heart? Biblically, it's dealing with your mind. When we was in the world, if we met with not having rent, if we met with the kids got some sort of activity or some extracurricular, you know, activity outside of school that they want to do, they got some sort of trip they want to go on, they got some sort of, you know, expense that you want to, that they want to, that you need in order to provide for them, and you don't have it, we tend to resort to wicked and destructive means. If we find ourselves again, like similar situation that Sister Erica is dealing with, you know, health situations, she's dealing with it with her brother. But guess what? It could have been her. And guess what? We panic and we tend to want to make quick decisions. We feel like we got to get it under control in order to move forward. And sometimes it just takes a level of patience. It just takes a level of reflection. And what do we reflect on? First and foremost, we got to reflect on what my next move is, has to be within the righteousness that the Most High is requiring. It's never an excuse. He never gives anyone license to sin, right? So no matter what you're going through, it's never an excuse to resort to being wicked, right? Sometimes it takes for you to just sit back, be patient, reflect, and let things be revealed unto you, right? So when you come to serve the Lord, when you come into this knowledge that you're an Israelite, that you're not an African American, you're not a so-called Hispanic or whatever, you know, degree, that you're a native Indian of any type of degree, that you're actually an Israelite, you're actually required to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And now the way in which you maneuver through life and the way that you view and see life has to be through the lens of the righteousness of God. And of course, the faith in who the world calls Jesus Christ. This is important. When you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for the temptation. Prepare yourself. It will come. You are going to be tempted, right? You are going to be put in situations constantly because of the responsibility that we dropped, the ball that we, as the people and the chosen and the beloved of God, we dropped the ball. So now the world is being ran, and the authority of the world has been given unto the wicked, right? So when the authority of the world has been given into the hand of the wicked, then those become the influence of the world. That's why we, according to our flesh and our upbringing, have this predisposition to just abandon the commandments and righteousness. But in doing so and coming back to the Lord, we got to prepare ourselves. The day is going to come. Many times is going to come where I'm confronted with straying away again. But I'm not going to stray away. I'm always going to remain in line with the Most High. I'm not going to succumb to my own devices. I'm not going to succumb to the devices of the enemy. I'm not going to succumb to my flesh, and I'm not going to succumb to my own vain, wicked imagination. I'm going to stand true. I'm going to stand strong. And you make that declaration, man, at the time you come into the Lord. This is why this verse is here, right? Start back from the top.
It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare your soul for temptation. Go ahead.
Says, set thy heart aright.
Set your heart aright, dealing with your mind.
And constantly endure.
And constantly endure. Remember, I told you guys, and I'm going to keep saying this as many times as I can, because those who tune in, I want to drill this into you guys' mind. I want to imprint and sear this into your mind. The name of the game is to endure. The name of the game, the rules of the game is to endure. whatever it is you're going through, whatever type of week that you're having, you have to keep going. You have to push through. You have to persevere. You have to go through the fire and showcase that you are indeed and truly, in fact, gold, and that you're not wood, right? It's so funny too, because I always draw connections and I always draw the parallel between let you be in a grocery store, let you be down at the Social Security office, let you be at a sporting event, let you be at the concession stand, and somebody come cut in front of you. You gonna go out of your way to showcase, not me. I'm not that person that you just do that to. You must be out of your rabbit ass mind. And you're going to showcase that, whether you're going to say, tap them on the shoulder and tell them about themselves as you beckon, or you wag your finger in their face. Sometimes, people on their little physical stuff. So you might have to yoke them up by the collar. In some way, shape, or form, you're going to showcase to them, I'm not the one. Well, that same level of, zeal, and that same level of, how would I say it? That same level of conviction where you want to show people that you're not the one to play with, you definitely also got to go show the world that you're not wood. You see what I'm saying? You're not wood, that I'm actually one of the precious jewels, and I'm one of the precious metals that the Most High God has chosen. And he didn't give me this spirit of fear to cower out, to have doubt, to go astray when things get hard, but he's actually given me the spirit to continue to push through, to endure with faith, with love, and that I'm actually gold. I'm actually silver. I'm actually something that can withstand the pressure, the adversity, the fire, and I'm going to make it through this thing here, right? A lot of times, man, we misplace the strength that we really have. And then when it comes down where we got to face ourselves, when we got to look at ourselves in the mirror, we cower out. But when it's somebody else, oh, we stand tall, we stand strong. And your biggest, enemy in this world is yourself. And that's because of your flesh, right? That's because of your flesh. So understanding how you would go out of your way to showcase to somebody you're not the one is the way you got to go and showcase to the world that you are indeed something that is built to make it through the adversity and the fire, and not something that is going to be consumed by it, right? Keep reading.
It says, and make not haste in time of trouble. It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Read that part again.
It says that thou mayest
the top of 3.
It says, cleave unto him.
Cleave unto the Lord. When you're going through something, when you're dealing with something, don't try to figure it out with yourself. Don't try to lean on your own understanding. Cleave unto the Most High. Immediately run to the Lord. Immediately run to counsel. See what I'm saying? This is why I take the opportunity now to say, hey guys, again, for those who just now tuning in, our sister Erica, man, she's in a time of need. She's going through something. If it's on your heart, donate to the sister, right? Her Cash App and her Zelle is right there on the screen. She reached out. She didn't go try to figure these things out on her own. She reached out for help. She went and sought counsel, as the Bible also teaches us in the book of Sirach. Seek counsel before every action. Cleave unto the Lord. Where can I go get the understanding that I need to make it through this situation? And sometimes the person who you think might be the one that you need or would seek help from, it might not be it. So guess what? Whatever situation you're dealing with, on top of that is now added the person who I thought I could seek counsel for, the person who I thought was going to be supportive, the person who's been there and been around for years. They dropped the ball on you. So now you in a double whammy. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like I'm already dealing with something that's adding pressure to my life, but damn, my ace boom coon, my day one that I thought was going to be there, not there. Damn. Should I give up then? No. I got to go find other means, and I got to go find other methods to continuously cleave unto the Lord, right? Sometimes you might ask around and there's still no one around. At that point, hey, go get into your Bible, and And if you want to go get into your Bible and you're unable, or you feel like you're unequipped with what's necessary, then guess what? That right there is a way that the Lord is revealing things unto you. Even your ability or the way in which you go and reach out to people and you're not able to is something that the Lord is revealing unto you, right? One, you got to know how to operate in this thing as a solitary soldier. You got to know how to really survive and get through this on your own. Why? Because at the end of the day gonna end. Right? I'm just playing. At the end of the day, and at the beginning of the day, you got to establish your own salvation with fear and trembling. You got to go make your calling and election sure. Somebody else can't do it for you, and you can't do it for somebody else. So if you go and ask around in a situation where you need people the most and there's nobody there, it's not a situation for you to now take that and allow it to kind of push you further down. No. You have to realize, damn, this is the Lord revealing unto me that it's literally my walk in this vast world and my relationship with the Most High and His Son. And you want to know something funny? I have been saying that for the last couple weeks, and it sounds extremely weird to me. Why? Because this is one of the phrases that we always argue against. This is one of the phrases that we always push against. Contextually, when it's said to us as the Israelites, yes, it's bogus and it's wrong, because it's always said to us in a way like, oh, well, I can get away with this because God knows my heart and I have my own personal relationship with God. No, your own personal relationship with God means that there's nothing of an outside influence or situation and event that's going to affect your walk. So because you learned about this truth with a friend, because you've been walking and going through this truth with a friend, just because they fall out doesn't mean that you're dragged along with it. No, you need to have a personal conviction, your own individual reason as to why you are obedient, as to why you are faithful to the Most High, not because of other people. And in doing so, no matter what happens, you always remain centered. You always remain focused, and you always and constantly push forward, seeking the Most High, seeking the kingdom, right? Shalom, Mama. Seeking the Most High and seeking the kingdom. So anytime there's a situation that happens, you cleave unto the Most High. You go to the Lord. If you can't reach out to nobody, it's a situation where you realize, like, damn, I got to step my game up. I got to know the places when I'm falling into the place of doubt or my spirit is getting weak. I know where to go for reassurance. I know where to go for that pick me up, right? That rejuvenation of the spirit. And then yeah, that was a situation. Like if you don't have nobody around you, you got to be able to do it on your own. And if you can't go into the scriptures, then that's something that you got to realize and elevate within yourself. You got to know the books of wisdom, right? Ecclesiastes, Proverbs, the book of Psalms, Songs of Solomon is even good, you know, with some wisdom in there. The book of Sirach, Wisdom of Solomon. This stuff is essential. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. If you ever just confused and you don't know where to go, just go to the book of Sirach. Just start reading it. I mean, you'll get so lost in the game that Sirach is giving you, you'll forget about the problems that you even really having until you come across the thing that you're looking for to actually help your situation. So this book is vast. This book is beautiful. And again, I thank the Most High every day that He's giving me this understanding. He's giving me this confidence in following Him and in serving Him. Right? Keep reading. Read back to the top of 3 with Bakashah.
It says, cleave unto Him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Cleave unto Him, don't depart. The name of the game is to endure. But where do we get the endurance? Faith and patience. Where faith and patience meet is where you get endurance. Cleave unto the Lord, don't depart, and then you'll be increased at your latter end. Captain Tazama Ahmad has been going through hell. I've had a 2 type of year. 2025 has been twos. Two. Right? But what did Kelly Price say? Count it all joy, right? And of course, I mean, she gets that from the scriptures, from the book of Sirach that says you take that type of troubles and tribulation cheerfully, right? But of course, y'all know Cap always want to get his little R&B on every now and again, right? So, you know, Kelly Price said, you know, count it all joy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, sometimes you gotta just hop in the car, man, and put some type of Kelly Price on, man, and hey, and go and think, so that you don't move in a space of haste when you're in trouble. It happens. Everybody's gonna go through it, right? But you understand you're gonna be increased at your latter end. And guess what, man? As my year, the thing about when I say 2025 has been a two type of year, I don't say that to say, oh man, I've been going through it. I've been going through hell, and hey man, pray for me. I'm feeling down and out. Nah, I've been learning a lot too. When I say things like count it all joy, I don't say that gimmicky. I don't say that from a place of just, you know, funny thing. I'm gonna share something. It's not gonna be too much, and I hope the sister Erica can you know, can she is cool with it. After a few back and forths that we had, you know, she was giving me the update of the situation she was dealing with. And I told her, I said, man, it's cringy to just keep saying, have faith. Hey, sister, you just got to have faith. I told you that last week, though. You know what I mean? When situations are happening, you know, just keep telling somebody over and over again to have faith. It's not that that's wrong, because they should have faith. Trust in the Most High. They should trust in the Most High. But it comes off gimmicky. It comes off so commercial, right? Just have faith, and then I'm gonna go and going about my life and forget about what the hell you got going on when you going through something. When I say things like count it all joy and how I've been learning from these things, it's literally that. I'm talking about everything that I've been through, everything that's broken me down to weeping. I have gained so much understanding. Shouts out to the brother Lahat, right? Out of Sakari Riverside. He said something that was so profound and so powerful, going back to tabernacles, right? And he says, never pass up on an opportunity to level up. And I was like, that's so crazy, because that's what the tribulation is for, right? To prove ourselves as gold and silver and to not be as wood. Don't be burned up by the tribulation, be cleansed by it. So damn, what the hell? It might be, yeah. Like Jay said, when I say gimmicky, it's cliche, right? To not be burned up, but to be cleansed, it means that I'm supposed to elevate. I'm supposed to get better through the trials, tribulation, and through the adversity that I'm going through. So when I'm confronted with that, it's like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? Sometimes you feel helpless, right? Sometimes when you're affected by somebody else's downfall, again, my mother, she went through cancer, and me sitting there dealing with that, I have to just tolerate it. I have to just deal with it, right? I can only pray. I can only have faith. You know, people turn around and say, "Oh, well, you know, there's remedies. You can do this, you can do that," and I have to sit there and say, "No, for sure." But how much faith can I really put into those things? Remember, we went into this a couple weeks ago when I was going back, several weeks ago when I went back and forth with the sister. It's not herbs and mollifying ointments that's going to cure us and that's going to heal us. It's going to be the word of the Lord, right? And even though doctors are sent by the Most High, remember, the reason why we even need the doctor is because of the Most High. This is the type of stuff that's being brought to my attention that is now seared into my mind and spirit, and it's now the wisdom of the scriptures is now taking root. The scriptures is now and the only way they take root for real, where they really don't depart from you, is when you are living the things that you're reading about. When you have opportunity to exercise and to actually work the wisdom. That's why I said it seems cliche. It seems real cringe and gimmicky to just keep saying have faith over and over again. Now, although that was my advice, what I did was I now got to build on that so that the brother or so that the sister can then be able to take it and utilize it. Sometimes those are the things that's necessary, right? When they say prepare your heart for temptation, all praises. And again, Sister Erica, when you said that, pretty much what she said, for those that's probably just listening and not reading the comments, she says, like I told you, Kat, I'm appreciative of any comfort during this time. Never take for granted what we mean to each other and how our words uplift. Totally understand it. And I knew, you know what I mean, you could take it and do something with it. But for me, it just didn't sit right in my spirit. You know what I'm saying? It didn't sit right with me. I'm like, you know, as much as you've shared with me, it's like, I'm in this with you too. You know, I can't just kind of hit you with the AI response like, hey, sis, have faith, and then just going about my life. I'm in this too. You know, that's how invested I'm in with this thing. So I had to build on it. But remember, though, in me helping and assisting you and building on this have faith, trust in the Most High, I'm helping myself too. Right? What was you gonna say, bro?
It's like that just kind of goes back to what you were talking about earlier, how we're constantly coming face to face with that flesh. But that also goes back to, it feels almost, it's not, we know that, but it feels almost dismissive sometimes, because we've heard that our whole lives from the world. Oh, well, if you just have faith, if you just trust that things are going to line up, then hey, you'll be all right.
Right. That's why I use the word perfect. Perfect way of expressing that, right? Articulating it. It seems dismissive. Yeah. Like, shit, you going through that? Hey, have faith. Right. I gotta go. You know, we've heard it our whole lives. That's why I use the word commercial. That's why I use the word gimmick, because our people have been deceived and our people have been misled and our people have been abused with this. Just have faith. Just trust in the Most High. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I felt it very, very heavy on my spirit to really expound, go into it, really be detailed and thorough. And even in the midst of me being able to break it down to the sister, I'm now revealing these things to myself. It was a beautiful revelation that came through giving it an ear and just really being sincere, man. When we bear each other's burdens, you know, as the scripture says, somebody get that for me. Somebody bear each other's burdens, and then I have another one dealing with the prepare your heart for temptation. Like I said, once I took the situation that the sister introduced me to and brought me in on sincerely, I was able to, you know, be an assistance for her. And then, like I said, unbeknownst to her, this is the first time I've even said it too. She's in the chat where you know, she's responding now. She's helped me because I'm like, yo, I gotta be able to apply the same thing. But that's just what's so important about being a part of a body, right? Because we get to work this stuff out together, right? It's what they say is a 6 degrees of separation, you know, between everybody's life and everybody's situation. So even if you're not going through the exact same thing, the concept and the idea of what they're going through can still be applied to your life. I got one dealing with, oh God. It's crazy because I know what I know what it says, but it's funny because I'm trying to keyword it right now and can't think of the words. Okay, excuse me, I know what it is. Lap song. Lapith. Who got that bear each other's burdens? If you got it, read it.
It's for the Galatians chapter 6, verse 2. You want 1 and 2 or just 2? I'm gonna go 1 and 2.
Yeah, just both of them.
Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault.
If a man be overtaken in a fault, go ahead.
Ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness.
Listen. Read it again.
Brethren, if a man be overtaken in fault.
If a man is at fault, right? He's overtaken in his fault. Go ahead.
Ye which are spiritual.
Those that are spiritual.
Restore such a one in the spirit of meekness.
It says restore him in the spirit of meekness. Ain't that cold? If a man is overcome in fault, right? Correct him in the spirit of meekness. If the shoe fit, wear it. Bring it out.
Considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Considering yourself, unless you also will be tempted, right? It's equivalent to funny because the brothers in the chat name was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? Y'all remember when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was persecuted for not bowing down into the idol of Nebuchadnezzar? What happened? Nebuchadnezzar charges the guards to light the furnace. And they had to light the furnace so fast that it was something like 7 to 10 times hotter than it usually is. And when they went to go throw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in there, they fell in themselves. Right? So read that again. From the top of our shop.
Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness.
If you are in the spirit, restore him. But be meek. Go ahead.
Considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Consider yourself, because you also are going to face that same level of temptation that Sirach told you to be mindful of. Go ahead.
Bear ye one another's burdens.
Because when it's gosh. You're supposed to be, excuse me, I'm shaking the table. You're supposed to bear that burden with your brother, with your sister, so that they can be restored. Remember, I said it earlier. I always thank the Most High for the opportunity to exercise, to demonstrate, to work these steps, right? I hate being in the gym for hours on end. I'm putting up 1,000 shots a day just to go sit on the bench in a warm-up suit and no jersey under. I know I'm not getting in the game, right? I got you. I know I'm not getting in the game. That would suck. But guess what? What if I've been in the gym? What if I'm ready? What if my conditioning is there? What if my understanding, my knowledge of the plays is there? What if my scouting report of the defense that they're going to throw at us or the offense that we have to, I'm prepared, I'm ready to go. And then your coach calls your number. Man, you going in there with so much confidence. But do you think that your confidence is going to be the same the first game you got in? Or is it going to be higher or lower in the first game you got in? Or is it going to be higher or lower in the last game of the season? You done played the whole season. You done started from game 1 to game 82. You prepared, you ready, you've exercised, you prepare yourself in the summer, but you still got to find a rhythm and find a flow. Your reaction, your knowledge of, how to respond to things is got to develop. So by the time you get to game 82, after you've been exercising this stuff all year, you ready for the playoffs. And you're like, hey, man, I'm ready. Only thing can stop me now is injury. But see, when we're applying it to this thing of the spirit, our spirit can't be injured. Because we are aligned and we have that faith with the Most High, right? We got to bear these burdens so that we can help and assist each other to get stronger and to get better for the purpose of restoration. I don't want to see my brother stumble, fall, and when he tries to get up or when he even wants to, because sometimes the brothers might be on the floor and they just say, bro, I really want to get up. But maybe they ain't got it within themselves. Maybe they dealing with something. And if it's a blessing from the Lord for you to have someone around you to say, if y'all pay attention to the NBA, I'm always making basketball references. So if you're going to continue to watch this, tune into these programs, I suggest you get some NBA knowledge, right? Start watching these games. But if you're starting to notice that in the NBA, whenever a player falls down, according to the team rules, they cannot get up on their own. You understand that? Like if there's a ball on the floor and boom, you go try to get the ball and y'all tussling and fighting, you can't get up on your own. Unless the ball is still live, right? You don't want to fall and then be sitting there and now all your whole team got to come over and they score the basket. No, but I'm talking about if it's a charging foul, or if it's a foul on you and you failed, or somebody knocked you over and the whistle blows, you cannot get up on your own. You have to wait for your team to come and get you up. Great concept. I love sports, right? I love the concept and the things that you learn from it because it's always applicable to life, same way these scriptures are. My point is that it's such a blessing to have somebody around you that when you do fall, someone is coming to help you up. But what's so crazy is that when you know that you're not that type of brother, when you're not that type of friend, when you're not that type of teammate, you got to realize that could be the reason why they don't want to run over, or it's not even in their mind. Sometimes you see people, I mean, they dart over. They could be on the opposite side of the court. They dart over to come help this person up, right? But it builds camaraderie. It builds trust. You guys are already going through battles every single day at practice, every single night during the games, and these things help. My point is you got to bear each other's burdens because this is how we help work through this stuff together. Funny thing is, they say that's the difference between Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. They said Michael Jordan tried to bring the greatness out of you by him being so great, right? On some like, if I could do it, you can do it. Versus somebody like Kobe Bryant is going to say, hey, listen, man, get in this gym with me, man. Now, I don't want to set the example, but get in the gym with me. Quick little story. Kobe says, Kobe's a vet in the game now. I think this is maybe like 2010, 2011. Israel Grace, great point. Gives you a sense of optimism. It gives you a sense that, I can actually do it. I think personally, everyone needs to get to a place of feeling and believing that they can get these things done on their own, right, with their walk. But at the same time, getting to that place will be easier and it'd be more effective when you start off with a body and a family around you, right? But again, Kobe is on the team with these young dudes. He's a vet in the league, and these young dudes, they get in the league, man. They done got, they getting paid what, $300,000-$400,000 every 2 weeks. And what do they want to do straight after practice, straight after the game? They want to go out. Kobe don't go out. Kobe don't go to no nightclub. Kobe learned his lesson in 2004. Okay, he knows. But Kobe don't go out. So finally, they keep pressuring him. Kobe says, all right, y'all want to go out? Cool. I'll go out with y'all tonight, but y'all got to work out with me in the morning. Cool. So they go out, they party till like 2, 3 in the morning, and Kobe waking everybody up at like 4:30, ready to go work out. And you're like, nah, I went out with y'all. Now it's time for y'all to come and work out with me because this is what it takes. Y'all, so enamored and amazed by the mystique and by the majesty of Kobe Bryant, but I didn't just get there because of what my name was. I put that work in. So bearing that burden and recognizing where people, can use that helping hand, can bear that burden, and where you can observe what people need that assistance or where they need to work on things. It's what we work on together, man. This is just a long, drawn out expose of all the things that we need to do, man, and how helpful it is and how it actually can turn a 2 type of week, man, into a 1 type of week when you just realize you got a solid, powerful resource and source around you, right? Go ahead. Finish that. Bearing each other's burdens.
Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ.
And so fulfill the law of Christ, because that is something that is necessary. That is something that is obligatory for us, right? As commanded by Christ. If we love him, we keep his commandments. If we love the Father, we keep his commandments, right? And it's not a grievous thing to do. How is it hard for you to bear that when you have the opportunity? It's not you going through that. It's not you going through it. It's your brother. Be there for him. And then in turn, he'd be there for you. Hell, do it even if he ain't going to be there for you. Because this is what you're supposed to do. That's how you present yourself without spot and to be blameless, right? Read that last part again.
And so fulfill the law of Christ.
And so fulfill the law of Christ. This is why when a man walked up to Christ and says, what do I need to do to enter into eternal life? Christ says, keep the commandments. He says, which commandments? Christ starts to list them. He goes, okay, well, sell everything that you have and then go give it to the poor. People always say, see, this is a situation where Christ is telling you it's not about keeping the law. No, Christ is telling you that the things you think the law encapsulates and encompasses, it's more to it than that. You have to be ready to bear the burden of your people. If your brother has fallen poor and is fallen and waxing poor, then you need to look out for him. If your brother needs something, get that 1/10. I need you to one of y'all to get Judges 7. And then somebody get Deuteronomy 15 and 8.
I got Judges.
Judges 7. Y'all what's up? Get Deuteronomy 15 and 8 for me, Bakasha.
From the top.
Wait, just hold Judges, because we're gonna get that right after I finish making this point. Whenever you get there, y'all what's up? I'm ready.
Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 15 and verse 8. But thou shalt open thine hand wide unto him.
Start up at 7. Read 7 and 8.
Deuteronomy 15 and 7. If there be among you a poor man.
This is what's so funny, right? Because this is people say, oh, see, he's telling them not to keep. This is in the commandments what Yahushua told him to do, right? If there be a poor man, go ahead.
Of one of thy brethren.
Of one of your
in any of thy gates
of
in thy land.
Of one of your brethren within the gates of your land, right? Go ahead.
Which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not harden thine heart.
Don't harden your heart.
Nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother.
Don't shut your hand from them. You understand? You have to open your heart, right? Like Anderson .Paak said, right? What's behind them? What's behind them tickle bitties, right? If you know the song. What type of heart do you got? What type of mindset do you have? Are you willing to lay your life down for your friend as I have? Now we're talking about flesh, blood, and spirit. You can't even give up this monetary, this vain things that you've collected in your life. You can't give that up. You damn sure not gonna give up your life for it. Because what's so funny is later on down in Matthew the 19th chapter, it says what? The disciples came and says, well, Lord, we've forsaken all for you. So what do we get? That's when Yahushua makes the famous statement, ye that have followed me in the regeneration shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. You get the kingdom that we're looking for. You get the very thing that man came and asked for. He can't give that up. He's more connected, and he has more of a loyalty, and he's more influenced by what he has versus what we can all have. He's very much so selfish. You can read this. Just read all of Matthew 19. But people criticize us for that, for bringing that out and pointing out that the Lord says, keep the commandments. But he thought that he was keeping the commandments. And the Lord is saying, no, the commandments that you have kept, you have missed out and overlooked a lot. Keep reading.
But thou shalt open thine hand wide unto him.
You open your hand wide unto your brother. And do what? Keep reading.
And shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need.
You lend him sufficient for what he needs. Go ahead. And what else?
In that which he wanted.
In what he wants. Of course, this is within reason. If all you got is $100 in your pocket and your brother said, hey, I need $100, I mean, come on. But watch this though. Would you be wrong? Would you be out of line? Would you be tripping if you gave him that $100? No. Because what happens? The Lord will turn around and then give you 1,000. The Lord will turn around and give you 10,000. He give you 100-fold of whatever it is that you've forsaken in this life. He mentions it being in the kingdom, but we can't act like we haven't experienced a piece of that in this world. We can't act like we haven't experienced a piece of that in this world where you've given your last to somebody and the Lord come through. And I mean, money so tall, all of them want to fall, right? It happens. Chief had brought up a precept before, I believe it was in Proverbs, man, like, you know, essentially somebody that's charitable, you know, the Lord is always keeping them and increasing him. This is a spirit that we must have, right? Keep reading.
So Deuteronomy 15:9. Beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart.
Don't have an evil thought in your wicked heart. This is what the man did in Matthew 19. What did he do? Keep reading.
Saying, the 7th year, the year of release, is at hand, and thine eye be evil against thy poor brother.
He says, listen, because it says lend unto him. So he's like, I don't want to lend unto him when next month or next year is the year where we got to forgive all of our debts to people. Nah, I don't know about that. So you withhold what your brother needs for selfish means. That's against the law. Keep reading.
And thou givest him not.
And don't give it to him. And then keep reading, because what's going to happen if you don't? Read.
And he cry unto the Lord against thee.
Because if he cries unto the Lord against you, read.
And it be sin unto thee.
And it's true what he's crying unto the Lord and praying to the Lord about how you left him. Go ahead.
Thou shalt surely give him, and thine heart shall not be grieved when thou givest unto him.
You need to give what the man needs, and don't make it a burdensome thing. You freely and willingly give unto your brother, not with constraint, not grievously, and not with hesitation. This is in our law. How many situations, how many friendships have been broken over a situation like that? Guess what? When somebody actually had it, though. When somebody actually have it and you don't want to give it. And I know brothers that's in this truth, that been in this truth for years, that are like that. And it goes back into what we talk about, where your flesh want to resort back to how you was in the world, right? Forget you, I'm gonna cut you off, I don't want to deal with you no more, yada yada yada. But in reality, you say, you know what? Either the Lord is still dealing with you, either the Lord is not dealing with you. Either way, if you're gonna get there, you're gonna get there on your own time. It's not gonna be anything that I'm gonna force you to do. It's not gonna be anything where I'm gonna confront you in this moment. I want you to freely give. I don't want to have to sit up here and say, "Oh, you remember that time where I did this for you and I did up," and then you go, "Man, get here, dude, take it." No. You give willingly, man. You give. It says you open your hand wide into your brother. What do you need, man? Here's a little extra. Make sure you get XYZ in a line. Let me set you up so you can pay me back. And you want to know what's funny? Oftentimes, if you set a brother up like that and then they come to pay you back, you say, "Nah, don't worry about it. Hey, you pay it now forward. Go help somebody else like I helped you out." I heard a situation like that with Red Fox and Mr. Miyagi. Right? I don't know Mr. Miyagi's real name, but y'all know who Mr. Miyagi is, right? Him and Red Fox was really cool. I think he was behind on his mortgage. He was about to lose his house. Red Fox gave him the bread, said, "Hey man, don't pay me back." Right? But just know, I know you're gonna go and be something. You're gonna go be great. You make sure that you go and help somebody else out the way that I helped you out. And he did that in the world, in the family of comedians. Imagine if we can go and be that way amongst our own people, setting each other up, bearing each other's burdens, making sure that we all win. This is a powerful thing. And this is where we are also assisted in not moving hastily in the time of trouble, keeping our minds aright and set. And once we develop this habit, it becomes natural for us. We can then showcase this to our kids. We can showcase this to the rest of our community. And then the world will then be influenced by this. Eventually, that's the goal, right? Keep reading. That was it. That was the end of 9. Did you finish 9 yet?
That was halfway through 10.
Okay, that's it on that. Now, get Judges 5. You had a precept still too, huh? Get your precept before we get Judges. Judges 7, I mean.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, starting at verse 9. It says, two are better than one.
Two are better than one. Read.
Because they have a good reward for their labor.
They have a good reward for their labor, right? We can get twice as much done, short amount of time, right? We can be effective in whatever it is that we're building. Sometimes you might need to, some person might need to hold the nail, the other one needs to hammer the nail in, right? It's more effective. Read.
It says, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
If you have someone to bear your burdens and you fall, you have someone to help you out, which directly goes to the situation with the NBA, right? Great precept, right? And watch this though. I gave the example. The brother found the precept. You see how we reconcile all of this in the Bible? So a concept that we see the NBA following is something that goes back thousands of years to the wisdom we find in the Bible. And the brother's in the book of Ecclesiastes right now. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier. If these are the places where you're lacking and you don't know to go here to find what you're looking for to help in the situation, it's just a confrontation where you need to know, I got to do better. I got to start getting into my word. A lot of things you're confronted with through and revealed to you through the adversity and tribulations you go through. Keep reading.
It says, but woe unto him that is alone when he falleth.
But woe unto him that's alone when he falls. Go ahead.
Says, for he have not another to help him up. Says again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone?
It says, when you lie alone, how can you be warm? Right? So this is why it's important, man, that man should not be alone. Right? He gonna be cold at night. You need something to. You need you a little lady, man, to cuddle up to next to at night. You understand me? So you don't be cold out here. How long has this been on? It's been on about an hour 8 minutes exactly. Right? How can one be warm if he lays alone? Two is where you find warmth. Right? Read.
It says, and if one prevail against him,
if one then prevail against you, go ahead.
Two shall withstand him.
Two shall withstand him. Right? Meaning what? If you get into a fight and one is whooping your tail, it's good to have a partner with you, okay? According to the Bible, it's good for you to have a partner with you because two is gonna come in and say, no, homie, we ain't finna have that. And that's something that we learn early on in life when we have siblings, right? Or when you got cousins. Y'all don't fight each other, y'all fight for each other, right? Put a one in the chat if you done heard that in any form in which it was told to you, right? Y'all don't fight each other, y'all fight for each other. If one of y'all fight, all of y'all are fighting. If they touch one of y'all, then they got to touch all of y'all. Pause. Right? And guess what? Our beloved brother Malcolm X actually made a statement about that as it pertains to us as a people. If we develop the mindset psychologically that when one foreign nation touches one of our black people, that they now have touched all of us and they got to deal with all of us. That's a level of camaraderie. That's a level of brotherhood that we need. This is a level of brotherhood. This is a level of camaraderie that we need. This is how we stick together. This is how we prevail. This is how we win. This is how we come out of this current hellfire and captivity and tribulation as gold and not as wood. Tried in that fire. Keep reading.
It says, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken.
And when you have a threefold cord, it's not easily broken, right? A Cuban link chain is way stronger than I don't even know what that other little windy one is called. I think it's like a Franco. What's a Franco chain? Franco. Nah, Franco chain is actually, what's a two little string chain? I couldn't find it. If anybody knows what that is, That 2-strand chain. You know that chain that everybody get. Your first chain. Man, it sounds like that first chain that that one you got on right there. What's that called?
Rope.
It's just a regular rope, huh?
Yeah, just a rope.
Yeah, rope chain. Shouts out to the sister Laraz, right, in the chat. Rope chain. That Cuban link chain is way stronger than that rope chain, right? That 2-strand versus the 3-strand braid, right? Everybody knew what I was talking about. They just didn't know the name. It's like we've been having this chain our whole life. That's everybody's first chain, that rope chain, right? That was it on that Ecclesiastes. 3-strand is harder to break than any other strand, right? So having more than one is always good. We bear each other's burdens. We always push to restore one another, not to condemn them to be put astray and to not come back. No. We got to do these things to try to encourage each other, right? Go to Judges. Start at verse 4. At verse 4.
Book of Judges, chapter 7, verse 4. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many. Bring them down into the water, and I will try them for thee there.
No, we got to start up. Start at the top.
Okay. Book of Judges, chapter 7, verse 1. Then Jerubbaal, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him rose up early.
Right, Jerubbaal, which is Gideon, right? Go ahead.
And pitched beside the well of Harod.
Uh-huh.
So that the host of the Midianites were on the north side of them.
Right. So we are about to go into battle with Midian. Read.
By the hill of Moreh in the valley.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many.
So the Lord, So they're saying that, or the Lord is saying that all of the soldiers that we have, all of the men that's ready to go to war that we have are too many, right? And the Lord is going to explain why he feels like we got too many men. Read.
For me to give Midianites into their hands. So
the Lord is saying it's too many of us. It's too many Israelites to give the Midianites into their hand, right? Why does the Lord feel that way? Read.
Lest Israel vaunt themselves against me.
Uh-huh.
Saying, mine own hand hath saved me.
So the Lord says, listen, it's too many of them, because if I give them the victory, the Israelites are not even going to recognize that I'm the one that has given them the victory. They're going to take the victory as if they did it themselves, right? They're going to take the credit for this victory instead of me. So what I'm going to do is, and we're going to read it, the Lord says, I got to cut this number down. I gotta put Israel at such a disadvantage. I got to put Israel so far behind the 8 ball that when I give them this victory, they're going to know it came from me. This is how I'm going to showcase to my people how much love I have for them and why they really need to trust and have faith in me, right? Keep reading.
Now, therefore, go to proclaim in the ears of the people.
So now go to the people and proclaim this in their ears. Read.
Whoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. It
says, who's ever fearful and afraid, let him depart from Mount Gilead and do what?
And there return of the people 20,000.
So it says, who's ever scary, go home. Hold on. I had to let that sizzle, right? I had to let that sizzle. Who's ever over here scary, go home. And it's funny because it's a question that we really don't even ask. It's a question that we really don't even ask. It's a situation where we be so fascinated with the amount of people that's learning the truth. And we start to see the truth become more popular that we don't even really take in consideration who's for real here and who's not. And there's really no way for us to tell, because Yahweh Shai said that he's going to come and separate the wheat from the tares, the sheep from the goats. But at the same time, how many times do we really ask, like, hey man, how many of y'all is actually out here scary? Because when the question was posed, 22,000 soldiers was honest. 22,000 said, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm scared. Now, mind you, these are the same people that the Lord had prophesied was going to take credit for the victory when they went out there and won. But when confronted beforehand, who's scary? I don't know what's to come out there. I don't know what type of weapons they have. I don't know what type of special ops soldier swordsman that they have. Pause. Right? Who knows what they got? Hold on. Saw a goat eating leaves off of a power line. That's crazy. Who knows what they have? So those people that left were not prepared, and they were not rooted in the faith of the Most High, that whatever was out there, what they would be confronted with, they're prepared for it, right? But that goes back into what we read, the first verse we read, right? Sirach 2:1. When thou come to serve the Lord, prepare your heart for temptation. That temptation can be fear, right? Damn. It's 100 niggas out there. And I'm only one gorilla. I'm only one gorilla. I don't think the gorilla gonna run. I think the gorilla gonna sit there. He gonna rise up. He gonna growl. He gonna beat his chest, and he gonna go for what he knows. And what we supposed to know is the Most High. How do we know the Most High? Because we keep his commandments. Right? He that saith he know him and keepeth not his commandments is a liar. Right? It says you die on that battlefield, it might not be a quick one. That too. You know, that's what happened with Saul, right? Saul went to battle. Saul got cut. And Saul told his servant, hey, man, kill me, homie. Kill me. One, because I might have to sit here and just die out. But also, I don't want to give them the satisfaction to say that they killed me. And then number two, they might take my body and do God knows what with it. Kill me. But at the same time, when I come into this truth and when I bear my brother's burden and when I'm a support system to anybody, and my effort and endeavor and my intention and my ambition is to restore our people, I got to be prepared for what comes with it. I can't allow some sort of gang, some sort of gang infested territory to stop me from going somewhere to preach this word. I can't allow, some sort of mob or some sort of sundown town or whatever, to stop me from going and pushing and spreading this word anywhere. I can't allow some type of public scrutiny and ridicule or humiliation and embarrassment to stop me from pushing this word. I have to be prepared for whatever it is. And when I know I'm going about and walking and moving in the spirit and power in the name of the Most High God and his Son, then I'm ready and prepared for whatever comes my way. And I'm not going to waver. I'm not going to stray away. I'm going to cleave unto the Most High and then be increased at my latter end. And it's right here in the book. It's right here in the scriptures. The thing is that we don't always get the opportunity to exercise it. So when the time comes, we're unprepared. We are not ready for it. So this is why you got to always work through those two type of weeks, man, in your personal life. And then you also have to be a willing you have to be a volunteer and a willing participant when your brother or your sister is going through something, because that helps you exercise as well. You exercise that brotherhood. You exercise that attempt to restore. You exercise what you would do when you're in that situation. And a lot of times, like what I just expressed at the beginning and throughout this class, it was something that I was able to bring to my attention through helping the sister Erica. And like I said, if it's on you guys' heart, man, her Cash App and her Zelle is right there. Donate to the sister and let's bear that burden with her. You understand? Let's bear that burden with her. Keep going.
And there returned of the people 20 and 2,000, and there remained 10,000.
So it went from 32,000, 22,000 drops off. Now we only got 10,000. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many. Bring them down into the water.
So the Lord says, now you done dropped it down to 10,000. You done cut 2/3 off, and it still ain't enough. You know what the Lord is looking for? The Lord is looking for the elect. He not just settled with the 1/3 at that point. He's looking for the elect. Right? So he says, it's still not enough. Go ahead.
Bring them down to the water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with thee.
Right? So it went from 10,000. Now he gives another task to Gideon to try to figure out how we're going to shrink this number again. Read.
The same shall go with thee, and of whomever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee.
Right.
The same shall not go.
Uh-huh.
So he brought down the people into the water, and the Lord said unto Gideon, every one that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, him shall thou set by himself.
So it says, Gideon brought all the 10,000 men down to the water. The Most High gave the stipulation, all that drinketh the water or lappeth, right, the water like a dog does, them are the ones that you're going to set by yourself. Keep reading.
Likewise, everyone that bowed down upon his knees to drink, and the number of them that lapped, putting their hands to their mouth, were 300 men.
So those that bent down and did not lap like a dog were about 300 men. Keep reading.
And the number of them that lapped, putting their hands to their mouth, were 300 men. But all the rest of the people bowed down unto their knees to drink water.
Right.
And the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lapped will I save you.
So the Lord says, listen, by the 300 men that did not lap like a dog, those are the men that I'm going to use to go into battle to save you. Because if I send you into battle with 32,000 men, they're not going to believe it came from me. But if I send you into battle and I deliver the Midianites into your hand with only 300 men, oh, that's a miraculous work. So what's the point? The point is, sometimes the Lord got to take you and put you in a real unprofitable, unbeneficial place, a real low place. I'm talking about he put you under the dirt so that you can showcase, demonstrate, and exercise the faith that you really have in him. And for the work that he's going to demonstrate with you by bringing you up from such a low place, it's only going to be as a result of the Most High God. That's the only thing that you can give the credit to. You can't say it's about yourself. You only have to recognize and understand the miraculous work and the power of the Lord. Same way he did when he delivered the Midianites into our hand, not with 32,000 men, but with 300. So the Lord put you at an extreme disadvantage to still give you the win. The Lord puts you in such a low place, a place that you don't ever think you would ever be able to get up out of. And when you do, you must know and understand it was all through the spirit and power of the Most High God in the name of his only begotten Son. You got to understand that. The water. You have to understand that. So whenever you're in this place of adversity, stay strong, cleave unto the Lord, prepare your heart for temptation. But you know what it also means too? It also lets you know, man, hey, Sakari ain't over, man. Sakari ain't over. The Lord is just setting everything up, man, to do his miraculous work. And I am glad to be alive to see that happen. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, the Lord has brought some really honest, solid, and genuine brothers into my life through this truth, through this work that we put in and do. And I couldn't have asked for anything better. I've learned, my brothers have learned, and guess what? I get to teach my son this. I'm pointing everything out. I'm having him watch this in real time. So now the next generation is benefiting from this as well. The next generation gets to stand on the shoulders of the work that we put in with an even stronger spirit. Because guess what? It's almost like what Floyd Mayweather said. I don't know what it's like to lose. He's been knocked out before, so he's coming in here trying not to get knocked out. It's never happened to me before. So my confidence is on another level. I know how the Lord works. I've watched it happen. This is why the Most High said what? Make sure that you teach your sons and your sons' sons about the day when you stood before me in Mount Horeb after I delivered you out of the land of Egypt, when all the odds and everything was against you. And I still brought you out. I still looked out for you. And I still delivered you. And I still saved you with nothing. You didn't have to fight. I provided for you. I protected you. I clothed you. I decked you. All of Ezekiel, the 16th chapter. Edward Aguilar. The best years are on the way. I love it. I love it. When people think that you down and out, if the Lord still gives me breath, the Lord still gives me life, I'm going to go to sleep, I'm going to wake up, and I just got to attack and deal with it all over again. My fight is over when the Lord strips spirit from flesh. My fight is over when the Lord takes my soul from me. But the fact that we still got this opportunity, like I said, everybody, you still make it to this class. This is you still in line. The Lord's still dealing with you. And when he opens his arms and embraces you and brings you in with tribulation, I want to be clear about that. With that tribulation, it means that the Lord is wrapping his arms around you because he could have took you out. Embrace that. Take advantage of the opportunity because that's the Lord putting you in the game. That's the Lord saying, hey, I need you to now go and show me what you said you could do, what you've been praying to me for. Go through this, constantly endure until the end. And you for sure, as has been promised, will be saved. And with that, man, we give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, for the name Yahweh Shai. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. It's been powerful. Like I said, man, everybody continue to learn. Everybody continue to just endure. Faith, have it. Have the faith that the Most High will bring you through it. And patience. And be patient enough for the Lord to reveal and to bring you to that place. But continue to endure. Continue to keep going. And do not give up, man. Appreciate you guys again. If it's on your heart, man, donate to the sister Erica. She could definitely use our help, our love, and our support. We love that sister. We love all of you guys. Appreciate you. Again, until next time, shalom.